They call it payday, they call it wages because they are entitled. There are a number of entitled people in this world. They feel like the world owes them something. Now, I don't want to say anything that will get this video banned because you can't say nothing nowadays. But there are a number of people in this world, and I meet them now and then. I don't even want to use a. Anyway, I ain't gonna say anything because anyway. But there are a number of people. Let's put it this way: there are certain people in this world. When you go to certain public car parks, they have a designated parking space. Not for them personally, but because of their situation, they have a designated car park. Those people there, because there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing fucking wrong with them. Yeah? They just work the system. A lot of them. A lot of them, there's nothing wrong with them. Oh, I've got this little pain in my leg. Right, I'm going to register as such and such. Those people there, they're fucking entitled. I go to people's yards. And on the front door, they will have certain wording to let me know the status of the person in that yard. And I just think, why does the whole world need to know what you got going on in your yard or what category you fit into? That's like me putting on my front door, black man lives here. All right, at the front of my house, I've got a Jamaican flag, but that's different. Yeah? Why does the whole world need to know you've got any issues in that? Entitlement. I remember there was one time. The thing is, I can't tell the whole story without saying, the D word. Yeah, but I remember there was one time I was asking some woman, "Oh, are you able to help me move some stuff around?" I can't help you do that because I'm such and such. Like saying it like wearing it like it's a badge of honor. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, yeah, whatever's happening, whatever's you got going on in that, yeah, don't shy away from it. Nah. Yo, why are you trying to hold this and trying to make it out like it's some sort of badge of honor and that? There's certain people, they want to go around and diagnose their children with X, Y, Z conditions. You know why? Because in a country like Britain, you can milk the system. There are parents right now, I know somebody that did this. I didn't know they did it, but someone I know told me. The child was somewhat problematic. I think threw a chair at a teacher. Obviously, had short attention span. Yeah, I call it short attention span. Parents of today call it ADHD. Yeah, so the child probably would have quote unquote been diagnosed with ADHD back then. And after a few years, the child was cool. 6 years later, the child has no issues. The child is normal. Yeah. What did the parent do? Not just continue with life as normal. Nah, went out of their way to go and get the child diagnosed with ADHD. Why? Because they know they can get some sort of benefit from it. Payday, that's the entitlement. What do you mean payday? Again, they feel like they're entitled to money. They feel like the government, the local council, or God above owes them something. Nobody owes you nothing. You owe yourself something. Yeah, you owe yourself hard work. You owe your ancestors hard work. Your ancestors lived in a time where there was no opportunities, hardly any. Life was a lot harder 200-300 years ago. And we're living in the easiest time right now. And you still want to sit on your ass and not make something of yourself and claim this benefit and claim that benefit. I met a guy the other day, yeah, so I must have got this job. And when I went to this particular road, I'm like, oh yeah, I've been here a few times. When I pulled up to the house, I'm thinking, I'm sure I've been to this house before. Anyway, there was an older guy, white guy outside. So I just introduced myself as I was walking walking up the pathway. I said, yeah, I'm the electrician. Here to do a test. He said, oh, this is not my house, I'm just a gardener. I said, all right, cool. So I knocked on the door, it was an African family. As soon as the boy come to the door, I'm like, I remember this yard now, and it boom. Anyway, done the test, came out, was carrying my stuff back to my car, and this older guy, he was walking behind me as I was leaving the path to go to my car. He's like, yeah, I'm just sick of this country. Now, he said that when I first introduced myself to him. He was like, yeah, I'm just doing bits and pieces and that, just sick of this country. Man's just talking, yeah. So anyway, as I'm walking towards my car, he's like, yeah, I'm just sick of this country. The way things are going, I'm really pissed off with how this country's going downhill and that. So anyway, I stopped and slowed down for a minute to hear what he was going to say, because there's a certain theme and trend in this Northampton area, yeah? The locals don't like the non-locals, if you get what I'm trying to say, yeah? So as I slowed down to hear what he was saying, he said, yeah, my effing nephew, he's 50 years old, and that such and such hasn't worked a day in his life. And that actually, not gonna say made me happy and that, but I was like, oh, okay, well, at least he ain't, thinking about, oh, these people coming over and abusing the system and that, because your own people are abusing the system. Because people in this country are entitled. Nobody wants to work. Everybody's lazy. Told you that already. When I used to go to the infamous Holborn job on a Saturday and Sunday, I used to get on the train. There was black people, there was white people, and there was Asian people. But I was the only British person on the train. The black people were from Africa. The white people were Eastern European. And the Asian people were from India or Pakistan. Do you know why? Because British people do not want to work, because British people are lazy. Tell a British person right now, you need to work Saturday and Sunday. And they will start moving like the whole world is over. Give me Saturday and Sunday work, I'll do it. No problem, I don't mind. Listen, I'm such a worker, yeah? You see this weekend that went past? It was a very unproductive weekend. I just stood around talking the whole Saturday and Sunday, just talking. Because obviously I had work going on in my house and that. I felt guilty that I wasn't productive on the weekend. That's how much of a grinder I am. And then you will have people who, in the future, so in the present day, they could have the opportunity to work on the weekends and earn some extra money. Yeah? During a cost of living crisis, when they're in a time when they need the money the most, there'll be people that will opt out of doing any sort of like weekend work or working extra hours and that. And then in 20 years' time, they'll wonder why they're broke and struggling. Do you know right now, yeah, as we're in a cost of living crisis, as people are at the poorest and brokest they've ever been in their life, there are people right now on a Tuesday, they'll be speaking to their friend on the phone and be talking about that barbecue that they're going to go to on a Saturday, or that movie they're going to watch on a Friday. And then they'll scratch their heads in 20 years' time and think, well, why have I not got a £1 million property portfolio? Just fucking about. Said to you lot already, when I was doing those weekends and I used to go to Wagamama's on a Saturday after work as a little treat, I used to sit in Wagamama's and look around and think we're all in the same room together, but our path and where we're going to be in 20 years' time is going to be completely different. These people will be sitting enjoying a meal with their friends, not want to work on a Saturday, but in 20 years' time when they're broke, they wonder why. The reason why I will have £1 million in assets in 20 years' time is because today and 6, 7, 8 years prior, I've been buying properties upon properties. So I'm sitting on a property portfolio of 6, which is basically worth £1 million. Obviously, I ain't a millionaire yet. Why? Not because I'm super smart. I'm not entitled. And I don't even really work that hard. I just work longer hours than everybody else. When people stop working between 9 to 5 and they go home and they watch EastEnders and Coronation Street and Emmerdale, J-Wise is still working. Might not be electrical work, but I'm still building something that eventually is going to bring me back some money in the future. Other guys my age, I went to a house today, the guy's 60 years old, still playing video games. And then he'll wonder why he's in a council house. I'm 32. I stopped playing video games at 23, 22, 21, something like that. And even when I was playing video games, I wasn't playing them hardcore. Let me tell you something. The last game I bought was Black Ops, the first one. That was the last game that I ever bought. So you don't know, how long ago I stopped playing video games. Man will be playing video games and wonder why he's broke. It's because your spare time, you're not investing in the right thing. Anyway, got a few seconds to go. Stay wise, tongue.